Mr. Speaker, for the second year in a row, my home state of Washington and my 4th Congressional District are facing the worst wildfires in the state's recorded history. 1 year ago, the Carlton Complex fire broke out in Okanogan County, and at the time it was the most destructive in our state's history, burning over 250,000 acres, destroying hundreds of homes and businesses, and devastating the environment. Now the people of Washington are once again enduring another catastrophic wildfire season, far surpassing the scale of the devastation experienced last year. To put it in perspective, the amount of land burning in my home state is equivalent to the state of Rhode Island. Many of these fires continue to burn, even as federal, state, and local agencies and officials work tirelessly to contain them. Communities across my state are mourning the tragic loss of 3 firefighters who fell in the line of duty on August 19th while battling the Twist fire in Okanogan County. We remember and mourn the loss of these brave young men. Andrew Zajac, Richard Wheeler, and Tom Bashevsky. Our prayers are with their families and their loved ones. The current situation in Washington is dire, and the heartbreaking loss of life is a sober reminder of the dangerous conditions facing many residents. Although roughly 1 million acres have burned, along with countless homes and businesses and agricultural operations, forcing thousands of residents to evacuate their homes as the threat continues. While the governor has declared a state of emergency and the president approved a federal emergency declaration, the threat remains for residents of central and eastern Washington, and more resources are necessary. For the first time in history, the Forest Service has spent more than half its budget on wildfire suppression, and across the country, over 8 million acres have already burned just this year. The Forest Service reported last week that it has begun the practice known as fire borrowing, which is transferring funds to supplement its diminishing firefighting budget. This practice of fire borrowing leads into a vicious cycle where funding is not available for critical fire mitigation efforts, such as thinning dense forests and rehabilitating areas after wildfires, and ensuring communities are more resilient and prepared for future fires. This leads the next fire season to be worse than the last, a trend we are now experiencing in Washington, which is why it is more important than ever to pass legislation to fix this problem, such as the Wildfire Disaster Funding Act. To protect our communities and battle the wildfires, firefighters from across the U.S., as well as Australia and New Zealand, have joined the fight, and we owe them our deepest gratitude and thanks. Additionally, the thousands of first responders and volunteers and National Guard service members who have worked around the clock at great personal risk to fight the blaze deserve recognition for their heroic and selfless efforts. I've seen firsthand how our communities have pulled together to help one another during these trying times. Our communities in central and eastern Washington are resolute, resilient, and have come together to confront the many challenges facing them. The outpouring of support and efforts of volunteers from all over the state and country who provide shelter to survivors, cook meals, and unload trucks of relief supplies is a testament to the spirit and determination of Washingtonians and our neighbors. However, help is needed still, as the current fires have only worsened, and what was already a perilous situation with more and more homes being destroyed, families being displaced, and severe economic hardship expected in the aftermath. Mr. Speaker, we must remember the losses caused by catastrophic wildfires of the last 2 years, and Congress must continue to push to improve forest health and to ensure that this does not happen again. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I yield back the balance of my time.